Hey everyone, welcome back to Terramator Gardens. I'm Poppy Stone, and today we're going to be diving into the fascinating world of isopods by building a terrarium for them. I'm going to try to make this as complete and informative as possible. Isopods are rock stars in the terrarium world, acting as nature's cleanup crew and adding an interesting layer of life to the miniature ecosystem. And they can do wonders for your terrariums, your vivariums, and whatever else you got going on. So let's get started by building our isopod having. This is going to be a breeding container. First things first, you're going to grab a container with a lid. We'll be drilling ventilation holes on the sides and on top to ensure proper airflow, which is crucial for a healthy terrarium. Next, we'll add a drainage layer. Rocks at the bottom to create space for excess water to collect, preventing root rot in our plants, which will be added later. It also prevents the insects from drowning. It also prevents the substrate from clogging the drainage layer, which we'll use a piece of weed fabric to do. I'll show you momentarily. And just create a nice even flow with all of these ingredients. While we're doing this, I'll give you some information. This takes a little bit of time. So, did you know that isopods are distant relatives of shrimp, lobsters, and even crabs? These terrestrial crustaceans have been around for millions of years, adapting to a wide range of environments. Isopods come in surprising varieties, from the familiar pillbug to the colorful dwarf isopod species. There's an isopod out there to suit every terrarium aesthetic. And there's a lot of isopods you can find on our website, Terramator Gardens. And let's move on to the next part. Now comes the fun part. We're going to add our substrate mix, which is a blend of various elements, each playing a vital role. We'll start with a combination of compost or potting soil. This provides essential nutrients and helps the terrarium ecosystem function naturally. I also added activated charcoal to this mix. This amazing stuff acts like a natural filter, absorbing impurities and keeping the terrarium environment fresh. For added drainage and aeration, I'll incorporate vermiculite, which are lightweight pebbles that help prevent the soil from becoming compacted. There's the vermiculite. Next will be the peat moss. No terrarium is complete without a touch of peat moss. This moisture retaining wonder helps regulate humidity, which is essential for isopods to thrive. Evenly space all this stuff out. Now we're adding sphagnum moss on top of the substrate mix. Just a thin layer. I usually add it to like 1/3 of the side. The moss retains moisture, but also provides hiding spots and helps regulate humidity. Next, I'm adding dried leaf litter, which is a natural aesthetic and provides additional hiding spaces, but also provides food to isopods. They love to munch on decaying leaves, making them a natural part of their diet. Finally, I sprinkled on some orchid bark mitts, which adds another layer of texture and provides additional drainage and air circulation. Now it's time to set the dinner table. I'm adding all types of food substrates for them. Isopods are primarily detrivores, meaning they break down decaying organic matter. To keep them happy, we'll sprinkle some crushed eggshells on top. This provides a source of calcium essential for healthy isopod exoskeletons. A sprinkle of active dry yeast adds another food source, which is rich in B vitamins and beneficial bacteria. I also added some dried legumes like lentils and black beans, a delicious and nutritious treat for isopods. Next, we add water, which I have mosquito dunks added to. I like to add mosquito dunks to the water for my terrariums, because if you've had terrariums before and you've had any experience with fungus gnats, they can take over pretty quickly and become a nuisance. Mosquito dunks have small nematodes in them that kill the larvae of fungus gnats, and they're harmless to isopods, springtails. Speaking of springtails, these tiny little jumping insects are fantastic additions to a terrarium. They help break down decaying matter and outcompete fungus gnats for food and resources. By introducing springtails early, we can help prevent fungus gnat infestations before they become a problem, and that's what I'm about to do right here. Let's add some springtails, which can be found on our website, by the way, terramattergardens.com. With all the elements in place, the stage is set for our isopods to move on. You can find isopod cultures online or at some pet stores. Remember, different isopod species have varying needs, so be sure to research the specific requirements of your chosen variety. But this little setup pretty much is a one-fit-all, but they're all different, so research on your own. Now sit back, relax, and watch your miniature ecosystem come alive. Isopods will busily break down organic matter in area to soil and add a touch of life to your terrarium. I usually like to wait a few days before I add the isopods to the terrarium, just to let the springtails get a jump start. And as you can see, I've added some isopods, I think Porcellio species, to the enclosure a few days later. And they're scurrying around, checking out their new substrate, their new home. Now don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting terrarium adventures. We'll be exploring different terrarium builds, plant recommendations, and interesting creatures you can add to your miniature ecosystems. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you're inspired to create your own isopod paradise. Until next time, happy terrarium.